What's up guys, it's me Jeremy, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to play Hearthstone. Hopefully this should also help you guys watch the game too. Hearthstone is an awesome card game that is fairly simple to understand. Let's get started. So Hearthstone is a card game where the goal is to kill your opponent's hero. Each hero has 30 life, and once it gets to 0 or below, they die and the opposing player wins the game. This is done by playing cards and slowly reducing your opponent's life. Some cards can combo for massive damage, but that doesn't happen too often. Each player plays one of 9 different heroes: the Mage, Paladin, Shaman, Warlock, Rogue, Priest, Druid, Warrior, or the Hunter. And yes, both players can play the same hero. So Hearthstone uses a mana-based system. Each player starts with 0 mana crystals and gains 1 each turn, including on the first turn, so you'll have 1 mana crystal on your first turn. The mana crystals cap at a maximum of 10. You use these mana crystals to play cards, and your mana restores to full each turn. Each card costs a certain amount of mana, which can be seen in the top left of a card. There are ways to gain mana, but usually you can only use the mana crystals that you gain normally. In Hearthstone, there are 3 basic types of cards: creatures, weapons, and spells. Creatures have a certain amount of attack, represented by the sword on the bottom left corner, and a certain amount of health, shown by the droplet on the bottom right corner. Creatures can attack other creatures or the enemy hero, but they must wait a turn after being played before attacking. When someone does battle with a creature, they deal their damage in addition to receiving the damage that the creature they attacked does. For example, if my creature has 5 health and 5 damage, and my opponent's creature has 5 health and 9 damage, if one creature attacks the other, both creatures would die since they both take 5 damage, and then they would be removed from the field. Creatures remain on the field in the main area that you see until their health is reduced to 0 or below. You can play up to 10 creatures on your side of the field. Creatures often have some abilities, of which I will go over later. Heroes cannot normally attack unless you equip a type of card called a weapon. Weapons have an attack value and a durability value, shown in the left and right corners respectively. Every time a hero attacks with a weapon, it loses 1 durability. Now, spells are a little bit simpler. They simply just enact the effect they say on the card. They range from effects such as dealing damage, to healing, to summoning creatures, to all sorts of various abilities. In addition to these cards, each hero has a unique class ability. These abilities always cost 2 mana crystals, and they all do very different things. It's very comparable to somewhat of a mini spell. These can often be very effective since you do not have to use up a card to play the hero ability, so they are a little bit weak to balance it out. Now onto playing the game. Your hand is located in the bottom center, with all of your cards face up. Your opponent's hand is in the top center. Your hero is directly above your hand, and your opponent's hero is above theirs. Your health is shown on the bottom right corner of your portrait. Your hero ability is located to the right of each respective hero. Your deck is on the right side of the screen, while a history of the plays that have happened is on the left side of the screen. Creatures are played in the middle of the screen. The end turn button is on the middle right of the screen. The game starts with a coin toss, and the winner goes first, and the loser goes second. The game does this coin toss for you, so in no situations do you get to choose who goes first. It's always random. The player going first starts with a 3-card hand, which they get to mulligan any number of cards, which means they can send back up to 3 cards into the deck and draw new ones. This is done because some cards, say for example something that costs a lot of mana, might not be something you want at the beginning of the game, since it will take you quite a long time to build up the mana crystals just to even play that card. The player that goes second gains an extra card, so they get to mulligan 4 cards. In addition, after both players mulligan, they get a spell card called the Coin, which costs 0 mana to play and gives you 1 mana crystal for only the turn that you play it on. This is because the player that goes first will always be 1 mana crystal ahead, and that is a huge advantage. In addition, all their creatures will be able to attack before the second player. However, this difference of 2 cards is definitely enough to balance out the advantage, and can sometimes even be better. So, when it is your turn, you start by drawing 1 card, and then you can use your mana to play cards, attack with your creatures, or use your hero ability. These things can be executed in any order, but often the order you play things in matters a lot. Once you are finished with your turn, you end your turn and wait for your opponent, and the cycle continues until a hero's life is reduced to 0. If you take longer than 90 seconds for your turn will end automatically. Now let's talk about deck construction. Each deck has 30 cards, with a maximum of 2 copies of each card in the deck. Each class has a unique set of cards, but there's also some cards called neutral cards that can be used on any class. There are common cards, rare cards, epic cards, and legendary cards. You can only have 1 copy of each legendary card in your deck, as opposed to the other types of cards. These cards are gained through opening packs or playing an arena, but each class does have a set of 20 basic cards that are earned through leveling up your character, which happens through simply just playing the game on that character. Packs are gained by buying them or by spending gold on them, which can be earned in a variety of ways. But before we get into that, let's talk about the game modes. There are 2 game modes, Constructed and Arena. In Constructed, you get to build your own deck from the cards that you have gained. You gain 10 gold for every 3 wins in Constructed play, and you can rank up all the way to a 3-star master level. Your ranking increases as you win games. Arena play starts out with you paying 150 gold or 199 and getting a choice of 1 of 3 random characters. You then get to choose 1 card out of 3 for 30 cards to construct a deck. There are no limitations for card count in arena decks, but it's much less likely for you to get rare cards in this game mode. Once you have your deck, you play against other arena decks until you either win 9 games or lose 3. After that, you get a reward of at least 1 pack, and you can get some cards, substantial gold rewards, or some arcane dust. Dust is used to create cards for constructed play, and can be gained through the arena or through disenchanting cards that you already have. Since you get to pick the cards that you craft with your dust, it can be a very valuable resource. Rare cards do cost more dust to make, but also create more dust when disenchanted, of course. It takes 7 wins to guarantee a refund for your arena entry, and anything more than that will likely give you a significant gold profit. Gaining 9 wins is relatively difficult, so it definitely takes a skilled player. You can also earn gold through quests. At the beginning, quests will give you 100 gold, but as you progress through the game, quests will begin to give you 40 gold. You get 1 quest per day and can have a maximum of 3 quests at a time that are active. There's also a practice mode where you can play against AI opponents, but I would strongly advise against it since they'll teach you to do things that aren't really very good ideas, and thus are a very poor source to learn from. Now let's talk about a little bit more advanced concept, creature abilities. Creatures have a ton of varying abilities, so let's just jump right into them and go through the list. The first is a battle cry. This is an ability that happens right when the creature is played. Next is charge. This means the creature can attack on the turn it was played, without having to wait. After that is the choose one ability. This means that you get to choose which ability occurs when that card is played. And then there's the combo. A combo ability activates if you play at least 1 card before you play the combo card. This does not work with hero abilities. Next is Death Rattle. This ability occurs when the creature is killed. After that is Divine Shield. This means the creature can absorb damage once without losing any health. Divine Shields can be broken with 1 damage or with 10 damage, it doesn't matter, but the creature will still be unharmed, so act wisely when facing these. The next ability is Enrage. This is an ability that activates once a creature has taken damage. If that creature is healed, they will no longer have their Enrage ability. The next ability is Freeze. This allows you to freeze an enemy character, meaning a creature or their hero, and then that creature cannot attack the next turn. The next ability is Overload. This causes you to lose the amount of mana you are overloading on the next turn. For example, say I have 5 mana, and I play a card that overloads for 3. Next turn, I would only have 3 mana, since I would gain 1 crystal, and then lose 3 mana from the overload. This loss of mana only remains for 1 turn though. After Overload is a Silence. A Silence targets a creature and negates all of their abilities and buffs on that creature. Next comes Stealth. Stealth minions cannot be attacked or targeted by anything. The only way to kill them is to either wait for them to attack, which causes them to unstealth, or use things that damage the entire enemy field, since they don't target. Then comes Spell Damage. This ability causes your spells to deal additional damage for each spell damage that you're given. Next is Taunt. A creature with Taunt must be attacked before any other characters on your side of the field that do not have Taunt can be attacked. Taunt effectively protects your field, and as such is a very powerful ability. After that comes Transform. This changes whatever you target into something else, often much weaker than what there originally was. There are also secret cards. These cards are hidden from your opponent, until their effects are activated. There is also the summon ability. This causes the creature that it lists to be summoned to your side of the field, or to your opponents if it says so. There is also armor. Armor can only be given to heroes, and it absorbs 1 point of damage for every 1 point of armor that you have. And lastly, we have Wind Fury. Something with Wind Fury can attack twice in one turn. Many creatures as well as spells share these various abilities, and they are important to know to understand the game. And that just about covers everything. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about playing, or at the very least watching Hearthstone, and good luck to those waiting on beta keys. That is it for my guide on how to play Hearthstone. I'd love if you could support me with a like, and please subscribe for some more awesome content in the future. I plan on doing some more guides as well as some high-level commentaries for you guys. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.